Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. Before we get to the big story, breaking news from Texas, where authorities believe they found the body of a missing Kentucky woman.
Carolina Buchek joins us with the latest from the breaking news desk.
Emily Wade moved from Harrison County to Texas not too long ago. Earlier this month, she was heading out to get pizza with a coworker when she seemingly vanished. Now, the Ennis Police Department reported that a volunteer search team found a body near a low water crossing late this morning. And according to WFAA, they are waiting for autopsy results to confirm that it is indeed her body. But police say the description matches Wade. Investigators say they believe she may have been swept away into the creek that night that she disappeared. The water was high at the time. They also say they have not found her car yet. Now, Emily's brother Chad flew to Texas from Scott County to help in this search. He says his sister moved to the area with her mother from Cynthiana just 3 months ago. Back to you.
Carolina Buchek in our newsroom tonight.
With every call, text, or message she receives over social media, a Madison County woman hopes and prays it's that her missing daughter is safe and alive.
But sadly, Savannah Spurlock's mother says some people are trying to cash in on her family's personal turmoil. LEX 18's Lee Searcy explains from Madison County in the big story at 6.
It has been nearly 3 weeks since Ellen Spurlock has heard from Savannah.
And if I hear any noise like outside, I'm like, oh my gosh, it could be her.
Not a word since the 22-year-old was last seen on video leaving a Lexington bar with 2 men early Friday, January 4th. Savannah's mysterious disappearance shared all over social media. Her mother says many people have reached out to help, but not everyone.
Somebody saying, I've got her in Tennessee. She's starving. She needs food. Send me an Amazon gift card to get her food.
She showed us some of the Facebook messages demanding money for Savannah's return. One reads in part, "So here is your last chance. Send us 6 Bitcoin to below address. Now be smart or never see her again. You have 12 hours. Another one states, 12 hours are up. You tried, you failed. Okay, so no more nice games. The message goes on to say if the family doesn't pay up, we will vanish. So will Spurlock and where she is.
Just cruel, cruel things to say when we're going through this terrible time of worry.
The family reports the messages to police, knowing most of the profiles are fake. Then Spurlock says there are those who criticize her for not being emotional enough in interviews.
I have to hold on to that strength and hope that she is out there and we will find her, because if not, I wouldn't be able to get through the day.
Covering the news in Madison County, Lee Searcy, LEX 18 News.
Ellen Spurlock has a 13-year-old daughter, too. She says she's trying to stay positive for her. Meanwhile, the family of a Lexington teenager who was shot and killed last week is telling us what they think they know about what happened to the girl.
Angie Bevan joins us with more about Elisa Lucy Reed.
Lucy Reed was shot Thursday night at an apartment complex at Palumbo Drive and Man O' War. Over the weekend, she was pronounced dead. The 17-year-old was at UK Hospital, where doctors declared her brain dead on Saturday. The investigation is unfolding into what police are calling a homicide. No suspects have been named, but Reed's family says they know the person being investigated and they still think this could have been a tragic accident. Her aunt sat down with us today to talk about Lucy. She says you always knew when Lucy was in the room that she was loud and full of life. The teen's organs are being donated, and doctors have told the family that Lucy was quite literally full of life.
She's one of the largest donors that they've ever had in terms of what she can donate, because she's so young and healthy.
Now, her aunt says the family is meeting with the funeral home tomorrow afternoon, and they are planning the visitation and funeral for Friday. They could use help to pay for the funeral. You can go to our website at lex18.com for a link to their GoFundMe page. Back to you.
Thanks, Angie. There are new questions surrounding a viral video that shows a group of Covington Catholic high school teenagers appearing to taunt a Native American veteran as thousands gathered for marches in Washington over the weekend.
Those students have been widely condemned for what many saw as racist behavior, and they face possible expulsion from school. But now, after the entire video hit the internet, The students are pushing back, saying there's more than one side to this story. Ron Allen reports.
This video near the Lincoln Memorial igniting outrage. Native American Nathan Phillips, a Vietnam veteran, beating a drum, face to face with high school teens from Kentucky, some wearing Make America Great Again gear.
I was scared. I was feared.
The tribal elder said he had stepped in to defuse a confrontation between the teens and men identifying as Hebrew Israelites. That group seen in a new video, now deleted from Facebook, hurling insults at the teens.
This is a bunch of future school shooters.
I intervened, and things just escalated from there.
The member of the Hebrew Israelites who filmed the initial encounter tells NBC News it started when the students started mocking them. Soon after video of the students and Phillips went viral, the Kentucky Catholic school and diocese that some of the students belong to saying in a statement they condemn the actions of the students, and we extend our deepest apologies to Mr. Phillips. We will take appropriate action up to and including expulsion. But now the student at the center of the controversy, Nick Sandman, is speaking out. In a letter, Sandman writes he and his fellow students were verbally attacked first by the Hebrew Israelites, and that Phillips approached them, and that they only started performing school spirit chants after given permission by a chaperone. I was worried that the situation was getting out of control, where adults were attempting to provoke teenagers, Sandman wrote. He added that he smiled because I wanted him to know that I was not going to become angry, intimidated, or be provoked into a larger confrontation. In videos, other students can be seen making racist gestures.
It represented a behavior and an attitude that certainly does not reflect the values that we here in Covington, Kentucky have and promote.
Ron Allen, NBC News, New York.
Sandman says he's been targeted with death threats. The tribal elder says he's not sure whether the student should be expelled while the investigation continues.
There was also an Owensboro Catholic high school student captured in that video. The school released a statement following the incident. It reads in part, quote, "The character of a person or organization is what happens after these mistakes are made, and we will find ways to change the attitudes of our Catholic school community through this terrible series of events," end quote.
2 people were flown to the hospital this morning after driving into a flooded Whitley County road in single-digit temperatures. Fire officials tell us an older man and his daughter drove into 3 feet of water on Dahl Road. The man got out and flagged down another vehicle for help. Emergency crews had to rescue the woman from the flooded car. Both were flown to UT Hospital for treatment of severe hypothermia.
Temperatures were in the single digits this morning throughout southern Kentucky, central Kentucky as well. And in fact, got down to an even 0 in West Liberty in eastern Kentucky. That's at Wrigley Elementary School on our Weather Bug Network. Mount Vernon, Rockcastle County Middle was at 5. Baker Intermediate in Winchester 6. Over in Danville, Kentucky School for the Deaf came in at 7 this morning. As we look to tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., we're talking low and mid-teens again. Okay, that's warmer than this morning by almost 10 degrees. But it's still a really cold beginning to the day, and there'll be a little more of a wind around tomorrow morning as well. So the wind chills will be more of a factor to deal with. The moment, upper teens, low 20s. It is a cold evening out there. Some high clouds will limit the temperature drop to a degree, but it's still 19 at the moment in Lexington. The Max Track Live Doppler, not much going on there. Future Track will also confirm that for you. We'll go from 7 o'clock this evening. There are high thin clouds coming through now. We will see those clouds thin out some later on tonight, but they will also return for us tomorrow. But they are on the leading edge of much warmer air. I mean, there's a huge jump coming tomorrow, but it doesn't last. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's not spring.
No.
Thank you, Bill.
More than 50 years have passed since the death of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
A holiday, of course, is named for him, but more importantly, his legacy and memory live on. LEX 18's Conroy DeLuce shows us how hundreds bundled up in the cold in Lexington to make sure of that.
Hundreds walked side by side, moving not only to stay warm.
We know to be bundled up, yes.
But in honor of a man whose message lives decades beyond his own time on earth.
Everybody should be the same no matter what. You can't actually judge a person for what they look like or whatever like that, the color, skin, like that. You judge a person how they want to be and how they're supposed to be.
For Michael McNeil, Martin Luther King Jr. represents one simple phrase.
We need more peace on earth today, and as well as we did then and every day. We need, that's my word, peace on earth.
He done something for all of us, not just one person, but all of us. And that's why we can do what we got to do today for him.
Through the streets of Lexington, marchers walked in the present in remembrance of the past and in hope for the future.
And when you march, you're moving forward, so you're always thinking about, we're trying to go forward and we're looking for where we can go.
I believe in what is good for what it's doing for the community and for just the whole world. We need to be out right now.
Covering the news in Lexington, Connery DeLuche, LEX 18 News.
Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes has announced she is not running for governor.
Grimes says she's been thinking about running for the state's highest office for months. But in a statement, the new mother says, quote, "I never could have imagined that this year I would have the job I had always dreamed of. Not governor-elect, but mom," end quote. She goes on to say she looks forward to returning to public service in the future. One person suffered minor injuries when a crash sent a car into a downtown Lexington building.
The wreck happened at the intersection of Rose and Vine around 3 o'clock when police say a car ran a red light and clipped another car. That car crashed through the front of the CRM company's building, pinning an employee's desk. That employee was treated for minor injuries. Neither driver was hurt.
Lexington police want to find the man caught on camera breaking into a private school, then racking up hundreds of dollars on a stolen credit card.
This week's Crime Stoppers report is next on LEX 18 News at 6.